Hello everyone, Starltros here, bringing you a new video for FFBE JP. Today it's a little bit of a different video. It's something that's been requested a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately I've procrastinated like usual. And so I got off my lazy ass today, and I'm making this video for you guys. It is a new beginner's guide, so kind of a follow-up to the other one I've done a couple of months ago. With just like navigating the menus and everything. Now this one is going to be for priorities. So as a new player, when you come into the game, it might be overwhelming. There's all these things, if you've played global before, you kind of know a little bit how it functions, like what the gameplay loop is all about and everything. But it's a bit different on the Japanese version, so it can be a little bit overwhelming. And if you're a brand new player that's never played FFBE before, it's even more overwhelming. So today I'm just going to cover, in my opinion, what should be the priorities of a new player. Obviously, the priorities may be different from a player to another. Different veterans might have different opinions. Those are mine. Feel free to follow them, adapt them to what you prefer. But you'll see a little bit what I would do, say, if I were beginning a new account today again. So let's get right into it. So let's go in the vortex, basically right here. So we can look at the events we currently have going on. I will say I should really have done this last week because we had a raid event going on as well, but let's just pretend that there was one. So if there is a raid event, I think this should be your priority. You should always go and use your raid orbs as soon as you can, because usually a raid is not going to give you a lot of rank EXP. The rank EXP you can see up here, because what you want is basically to maximize all the rewards you can get from the raid. And so once you use all 10 of your orbs, then you can go do other contents, which will give you experience and make you increase a level. Once you get to a higher level, then you're going to get refunded all your raid orbs, so you can go and do the raid again, get more rewards, which is going to really help you at the beginning, because you might be craving for more pearls, for more pots, for more cactuars, for more star quartz, red star quartz. So those are all things, well, maybe not the star, I'm not sure you can get star quartz from the overflow raid box, but anyway, it's going to give you a lot of rewards that will help you in the early game. So if there's a raid event, currently there's no raid event, but the raid event is that thing with the green orbs. There's 10 green orbs that you can use. So once you've done all the first 2 levels, then the third one is the one you're going to want to repeat until you're out of orbs. Once this is done, then what you should do is go into the limited time events. Those are all in the first tab here. And what you should do is always make sure that you go and at least get a first clear on everything that's new. If it is more challenging content, for example, this one here, crowns, might be a little harder because you won't have the units. Those as well, like the special weapon quests or materia quests, those can be a little harder as well. You should be able to do like the early levels, which is going to give you some gear and it's going to be helpful. But what we want to prioritize and farm a little bit more is going to be the series event and the collaboration events, if ever there's a collaboration going on. So right now, what you should look at is always the date at which it ends. So this one here, which is the Final Fantasy IX event, will end on March 25th. So you still have a lot of time to go and do that. This shouldn't be your priority. However, the Xenogear event here ends on March 9th. So if you're not done with this one, you should go and do it. And when you farm for an event, if we go look at it, you can go, I've already farmed a lot of it. I'm not even done, but I'll finish it at some point. So you want to go through all the levels to level 5, and level 5 is always going to be the one you want to farm. Every time you play it, you're going to get, is it 1,000? I think it's 1,000 event points. And what you want to farm it for, if you click here on the event points button, it's going to bring you to a page where you see all the rewards you get from event points. So what you want is to at least make it to 100,000 to get the maximum lapis rewards, I would suggest go all the way to 300,000. So this way you get, all the pods, the Esper ores, the STMR tickets, STMR moogles, and also fragment tickets for units. And then once you're done with that, depending on if, for example, you had bonus units or not, then you can summon on the box with that button here, which is going to bring you to the summons tab, and you can summon from the box. There are 4 boxes that you can empty with tons of good rewards for beginners. As you can scroll down here and see everything there's a lot of things. Obviously, making it to the end of box number 4 with few to none, with few to no bonus units might be a little bit, longer. If you have the time, by all means do it, but it may not be your priority. If you have time, by all means, you can just start some auto farming with a team, and you can go through the entire box to get most of the rewards, because from there you're going to get tickets for units and tickets for fragments. And tickets for units, free envy units, and also for fragments as well at the same time, which you can go and select here in the third tab of the summon, the third tab of the summon section. Those are limited times, so you have to be careful. You can only go and choose them, for example, for this current event, the FF9 event, until the 29th of March. Always look at the end date of those banners, so you're able to make your decision before they go away, so you don't want to, miss out on those fragments that could help you down the line later. Going back to the Vortex. So once you're done with farming the series event and collaboration events, make sure at least you've played once in the other things. As I said earlier, those pearl stages, you just have to go and clear it once. There's no farming really unless you want to go and farm the pearls for your NV plus units, but those should probably come into the equation a little later. Because they're still accessible even after they're gone past their end date. They're just at a different place with some resource involved. But at the beginning, I don't think you should really prioritize turning your units to NV plus, because that's a lot of farming to do, which might distract you from getting the rewards that are really limited. But once again, up to you. If you want to farm the pearls, it's not really long either, so you can do it. Basically, when there's an event coming, you could go and farm as much as you need for the units. So this one, there's 2 units, so that would be 600, but there's also an NV plus awakening for Kuja, so that would be 900 you need for those, which is 4 times about 40. Yeah, it's 45 auto run of this. Plus, I think you get a little bit from the rewards while doing it, so give or take 45 runs. So it would be like 4 full run at 10 times repeat, and another 5 repeats if you want to do it. After that, if you see some crowns, by all means go and farm them. Well, not farm them, but go and clear them if you can, or at least the lower levels, just for some lapis and some enhancement materials for your unit abilities. Those limited time ones might be, less of a priority if you don't have any Xenogear units, because they might not come back. They might come back in a very far future. We don't really know. So it's not that much a priority if you don't have the units. For these, the weapon quests, I would say that should be your... Let's skip over these 2 first. See, I talked about the collaboration events earlier. This one's also another one. This is a rerun though. So when they're running collaboration event, you might see a rerun here, and they're going to bring it on the front page, so you should go and farm these as well. When there's a rerun, always look at the event points, because sometimes it might be an old event from before they increased the maximum of event points to 300,000. See, this one's only 100,000. So to save yourself some time, only farm to what you need to empty the box if you want to, or 100,000 event point for this one. Going back here, once you're done with all the limited time farming events, then I would say it's a good time to go and get those weapon quests if you can clear them at all. Clear them until you can't anymore. If you want, you can look up a guide. I know that Kojimaru releases a lot of them. They're not always budget. You might not always have the units, but if you do, by all means try it. If you don't, you can always come back to those later, because they will also be added to another place in the vortex. Another thing you really want to do as well, they're not limited time. You see there's no time lapse on it, so you don't really need to rush these. It's a nice place to go and get some lapis, but don't sweat those. Those are really trials that you're gonna want to go and do later. Don't forget this here. So this is a little trials battle when you get battle with new units. So every time there's the banner that drops, you can go and try the new units in there. So see, this one's for Saiton, this one's for Faye, this one's for Vivi, this one's for Zidane. So when a new unit drops, you can go play this one once, so you get 100 lapis from it. Very easy. Just fight the dummy for 5 turns, and then it's over. Aside from that, there's dark visions. When there's dark visions, you should always at least go and get a clear on all bosses. No need to really try to compete in it just yet. Just go turn 1 OTK all the enemies. If you're able to devise a plan that will make you max score all the earlier ones, by all means do it. It's going to give you some nice rewards, but usually clearing everything up until the boss will give you enough of those of the points for the rewards. Basically, what you would want to do is get all the way to 3,500,000 to get the lapis and everything, but you can get a unit also a little bit before the dark matter. So try your best. If you're able to reach this, amazing. If not, don't sweat it. Dark visions will always come back every month, so you can always try again next month. But it's always good to go and get some, because you can get some dark matter for a strong weapon down the line, some pearls which will help you awaken your units, and also some tickets for other units, and even some units sometimes. And this one over here is actually pretty good. So that's Dark Alexander von Harma. So if you want to go and get him, I think it's a pretty good idea. As for ranking, don't sweat it. Please do not sweat it. As a new player, it's not really worth your time like banging your head against the wall trying to get the best score. If you are, a frequent reroller, and this is the reason why you reroll, go ahead. But as someone who's just, casually enjoying the game, I don't think this should be your priority. Just get whatever you get, and it's okay. Like, don't sweat it. Let's go back now. So, if you want as well, there is the item world to go and enhance your weapon. That's something that works with orbs a little bit like the raids. It doesn't give a lot of rank EXP either, so you could also pepper that in between going in the farming events. I don't think it should be your priority though. If you want my opinion on this one, you can either completely skip it or at least do 5 full runs per week. So like basically using 50 orbs per week. Because every time you complete one cycle of 10 floors, it's going to count down for the weekly rewards, which will give you 300 lapis down the line. Send the weekly rewards here. If you do it 5 times in a single week, then you're going to get 300 lapis. And every Sunday, every Monday for Japanese people, it is going to no, it is on Sunday, right? Let's see, 310. Boop. Okay. Oh, it is on Monday. Never mind. So it renews on Monday, but for us Americans or Canadians, and I'm Canadian by the way. But people in America, it renews on Sunday at noon for the Pacific time. And when we push time back forward, it's going to be at 1 p.m. Sorry for that little tangent. So this is something you could do at least 5 times a week for more lapis. Once this is done, Now you farmed your stuff, you got your pearls because you wanted to upgrade your units, you got all the crowns you could, and now you can't get the next level because it's too hard. What you should do then is jump to another tab. So you should jump to the other tab here, which is the tab for rerun events. So in this one here, the first one, you might find events that are like being rerun for free. This one here, I think that was an exploration, yeah. So you're gonna find exploration here, you're gonna find other farming events in here. So you might wanna juggle between this one and that one to find, you know, if there is an expiration date on one of them that's coming soon. So you can go and farm it. When it's an exploration, you just, you know, go one and done. It's usually easy because more recent units will completely destroy these, so you don't really need to sweat it. Some of them might restrict you to certain certain tags. So this one here, as you can see, FF5 and gathering. So you need to use units from these tags to clear it, but you can bring a friend and the friend's probably going to do all the work for you, especially this one that's pretty old. This one here is a story event, so by all means go and do it because it's going to give you a good chunk of lapis, so that's pretty nice. Then you can go in these other tabs here. So the second tab is for character events. So those were back in the early days this was like during the main NV era before NV Plus became a thing. Every time there was a new series that was implemented with NV units, you would get a free NV unit that you could go and farm in there. So those quests are being rerun for free, so you can go and do them. Basically all you need to do is use the energy for it. Those characters might help you for some limited time content, so I would suggest you go and do it while they're there. They're obviously kind of weak compared to what we got nowadays, but sometimes, you know, you need FF12 units and you don't have anyone that can really help. Fran's not a really good example because she's really nothing at all. But she can help if you have NV Balthier. She can buff him up a lot so he gets very much stronger. Sid Reigns here is, you know, kind of okay-ish for FF13 if ever you have nothing else. So go and do those. There's a little bit of farming for the fragments on the last level, which you will need to do to get the unit to EX3, but you don't really need to get them to EX3 if you don't want to. Just getting the units might be enough to help you through some content. Now this second tab here is where there is free reruns for pearls. So if ever you had some of those units, this would be a rerun for free. What I suggest though, instead of going in here and look at what's free, what you can do is you can go and look at the units you want to upgrade. So when you're in the units, let's see if I can find someone that's NV plus awakenable that I haven't awakened. This. No, not that. Sorry, this. Okay, so those are all the units that I haven't upgraded, obviously because I have multiple copies of the same. But what you want to do then is click on the unit, go in here, click on the blue pearls, and you can click on this button here, which will bring you to, or you see if you can rerun it or not. If you see an energy cost here, it means that it is a free rerun. I'm doing air quotes. It's not free because you have to pay with stamina, but you know, it's one of those free rerun. So you can go click and you can go and simply play it so you can farm your pearls. If it is not up for a free rerun, what you will see instead, I'll try to find one that's not being rerun. I think I saw this one. Yeah, I saw it. Tifa. Let's see. Okay, so here, what you see for Tifa, it's saying that energy cost is 0, which means it is going to cost you an item. If I go here, it's saying that I need one of those purple keys to do it. And so, wow, that's a pretty good amount. If you don't have those keys, don't sweat it. They will be, at some point, be put back into the free rotation. Otherwise, these keys are login bonuses and some rewards from raid boxes, I think. So you're going to be getting them here and there throughout your FFBE career. So, you know, don't sweat it. At some point, you'll have them, or they're going to be rerun. So what you want to do after every maintenance is go look at the reruns and see if you can use some of them. Let's go back. So in this tab here, So this is what's currently rerun. As I said, don't really like go look through this. Look through your units to see what you could get for free. This tab here and that tab. Okay, yeah. So this tab here is for the weapon quests, which should be the next thing you go do. Those will sometimes be. Now, I don't think they are going to be series locked. The only series kind of restriction you have is if you want to get the lapis, which is always on the very last level. Some of them might be easy because they're very old. Some of them might be hard because they're kind of recent. You won't know until you try it because the difficulty level here, 400, means nothing at all. For example, if we go look at this one, 350, this one is much harder than the 400 of the other one, trust me. Or for example, let's see, this one is kind of a joke compared to, well, this one. 380, yeah, this one's 380. It is much harder than the other 400 that we saw before, so you really shouldn't pay attention to those numbers at all. What I will say, general rule of thumb nowadays, is if it's for a materia, those are for overkillers nowadays, those are really hard. So level 1 you should be able to breeze through. Level 2 should be like the highest you can get if you try, or if you really try hard. And level 3 is the one you're not going to be able to clear until you really have a really good team that fits the meta for that current era. So, for example, this one here, if you're beginning right now, I don't think you can clear it. If you can, feel free to gloat in the comments because I haven't done this one yet. I'm too lazy. And also, it's really, really hard. But yeah, those were a little easier. They were basically like, if you have the unit that came with that banner, you can do it. So this one was Cloud and Zac, and this one here was Sephiroth. So if you have those units, they should be a little easier. This one is literally unclearable if you don't have Sephiroth, as far as I know. So if you don't have him, you can bring a friend. The friend unit will do, because it's those, it was for those, what are they called? Boost skills. Yeah, the boost skills. Kind of like to show off those skills. They made special fights where if you didn't have the unit, well, you were shit out of luck and you can really do it. But yeah, you should go and get these because these will give you some equipments that will, help a little bit your inventory, give you some killers, some good stats that you can put on your units. If you do have the units that they were designed for, even better, that's going to give you some flat stats as well for those units. But most of these in the reruns are really irrelevant by now. But just go through these and play them, clear them to get the equipment when you can. The last one here is for the crowns, and I would say this is definitely your lowest priority in terms of limited time content. Once again, if you can't get the crowns, because usually like the last level is going to be kind of hard, it's fine. They're going to come back in rotation later, or the upgrades they are giving you are pretty irrelevant. So I really don't waste your time on this. Do it if you can, and once you hit the wall and you can no longer clear it, on to the next one. You're basically only doing this for lapis. The ones in the rerun are very bad, and they're not gonna make one of your units suddenly good. Those are all outdated units, and all those crowns are, oh well, except this one, yeah. All the crowns are completely useless unless it is for an NV plus unit. Then it might actually be relevant for that unit, because Clives were actually kind of good. Otherwise, once you've cleared these for the lapis that you could go and get, now what I would say is you have two choices. No, not those, sorry. Yes, here. So you have two choices. Either you start going and clearing some of the older trials here in the, is that this one? Yeah. So you can go and clear the older trials for some equipment, or you could also go and farm the story mode for lapis. So if you want to go in the story mode, so here you can go and you play the story mode and you go and get your lapis. You should look online to go and unlock some espers as well, because along the way you're gonna unlock places where you can go unlock espers. And espers are going to help you massively in clearing some of the harder contents by giving you the killers that you're going to need for some of them. So that should be your priority in the story mode. If you want to clear everything and get all the lapis from the missions, the first couple chapters are actually easy because the missions are always the same. Like, don't use any item, don't die, don't use a continue, and clear the quest, so that's always going to happen. But as you go forward and advance in the story, some of them become a little bit more obtuse, so you might want to look online to know what they are, or use a translator that could help. Whenever you got something in brackets, it's because it's an ability name, and translate is not going to help you. So for example, maneuver, this is maneuver. I don't know who uses that. That's probably Lid. I don't know. So look for those characters in. They're always going to be in the base units kits. So that would be Rain, that would be Lastwell, that would be Sakura, that would be Lid, Nicole. What's his face? Jake. And did I forget someone? I think I might have. Fina. I forgot Fina. So all of those units will have those things that you're looking for in the brackets. If not, it will be from an Esper. So you might see bar fire, bar thunder. So those things are coming from the Espers, which you should be able to go and get until that point in the story. If you don't want to really like go through the headache, just free clear these and get at least the clear lapis and the don't die lapis, and keep going through until you can get the espers. I'd say the first world, so what's that, lapis? Yeah, the lapis world espers are probably the better ones, but then in season 2 you can also go and get some more espers in there. They're a little harder to go and get, I guess, a little longer, but you know, once if you're following through the story, go and get them. There is no Esper in season 3, and there is one Esper in season 4. There's one Esper in season 4, which is a little harder to go and get, but I'm pretty sure with, you know, more recent units, it shouldn't be really a problem. But it's really not a priority, as that Esper is not bad, but doesn't have any priority killers that other Espers don't have. So you can completely ignore season 4 in terms of Esper. One good thing you can get from season 4 though is a physical tank, a free physical tank. Free physical tank you can go and get there. That little orange robot Runda that you can go and get there. And some awakening materials for them as well. Well, I say them, I should say him, because we know his identity now. But yeah, you can go and get fragments and stuff to upgrade him. And he's a very, very good physical tank, good for general mitigation, physical mitigation as well, which might help you through some content. Otherwise, if you want to go in the vortex and fight those bosses from the trials, then you should start here with the red one with Bahamut on it, and you can start. Well, you can do those in this banner here. They don't really give much. Oh wow, I had some lapis. I should go and get. Oh my god, yes, those are finishing with an Esper, and they used to be kind of a problem before. Because you needed to really time your stuff well so it would work, but now it's super easy, so I should go and get some lapis here. Anyway, so this is a little lapis, but those are more important here for the rewards, because you're going to get some equipment. Obviously, those are completely outdated, very, very bad, but as a new account, these might help you, gear up your units a little bit. Some of these things will give you resistance to some status ailments. For example, this one here, that one here. So the Grand Helmet and the Demon Mail. What else? Yeah, some elemental resistance as well with the Asphalis. But yeah, you can get some good stuff here. So the first ones only have one difficulty. What the? Not lapis, I don't care. Okay, got it. I haven't visited those in a long time. And then as you move forward, some of them will have multiple difficulties, but they're always probably mostly OTKs that you never really need to like struggle. You just bring whatever unit. You can either auto attack or use just like a simple chain move. Some of them will have gimmicks. If you remember the Ice Bird, this one you needed to use fire to kill it, and on the Scorn version that was thunder. Otherwise you can hurt it. And there is a preemptive attack, so make sure you have a tank with some preemptive cover to help you, or have guts on your units. But otherwise, some might have harder difficulties with higher numbers. If they do have that, like 300 something number, don't do those just yet. They're a little bit harder, and keep them for when you're doing the Scorn trials. But there's not too many of them. I think there's this one, and that's pretty much all. Actually, yeah, that's pretty much all. The worm here might be a little harder because it was really bulky, but I'm pretty sure you can one-shot it now very easily with more recent units. Same here with Bahamut. He used to be a big deal before, but I don't think he's any much of a challenge now. Once you're done clearing those, what you can do is go click on that little behemoth here, and it's going to bring you to the Scorn trials. Once again, some of them will be locked at the beginning, so you need to start with these. If you got one like this one, so this one got the extreme Scorn difficulty, so you want to do this one first, not go through this one just yet, and so you can go and clear the others. And I think you need to clear, what was it, Antanola here in order to unlock up until Gilgamesh. And once you do Gilgamesh, you're going to unlock everything else over. But you should do them in order because they're in order of difficulty as well. And as I said, when a Scorn trial has 2 difficulties, wait until you've done all the others and come back to those, because those were a lot harder and you might need a little bit of strategy to clear them. If you need help with those, there are guides online. My friend Senzar has done tons of those on Global, and you can still use pretty much the same guides to understand what the boss does. If ever you need some help, and bring a recent unit and just do a simple chain, and that should do it for most of them anyway. But yeah, you can get some okay rewards from those. Can I say I've actually used one of these recently? I don't think so, but as a newcomer, that's really going to help you. This still has some uses sometimes. And some killers as well from those can be pretty useful. Once you're done with those, you can go in, let's see. Yeah, I would suggest going and do this one here. So the 12 race trials, those will give you killers, so that can be pretty good as well. They are harder though. They have 2 difficulties. You'll want to clear both. As you can see, I'm lazy and I don't want to get those those tickets. That wasn't really useful. You're doing these for the killers. So you're getting, well, usually you're only getting 1, aren't you? So, nope, you're getting 2, it seems. Anyway, they're giving you killers for the next relevant fight in line. So you want to do these to get a lot of 75% killers, which will help you deal more damage to harder trials. Up to Dullahan, this one here, they are very easy. And when you reach Death Machine here, you might hit a wall. Don't panic, don't stress. You just need to use the correct elements, because they started really making them really like only vulnerable to certain elements. So always look at the banner here, so you will see what elements they are weak to. So this one is weak to thunder and water. And if you're not using these elements, chances are you won't be able to damage it at all. Oftentimes they are very resistant to non-elemental as well, so you can't even use non-elemental attacks. And I think, was it with Gloomwing or I think starting with Rafflesia here, the flower, you need to have an Imperil field, even with their elements, to be able to damage them. Well, that was with the current Imperils of their meta back then. Nowadays, you might have a unit with a strong enough imperil, like 250% imperil is probably enough. But bring the biggest imperil you can and the biggest imperil field, and that's really going to help you with those. They shouldn't pose too much of a threat even today now anyway. Some can be a bit tricky. For example, Catastrophe can be a little hard. Well, could be a little hard last time I tried it. But it shouldn't prove too much of a threat nowadays if you have recent units that will fit those elements. Oh, and also, by the way, you can see what race they are here. So versus bird, stone, undead, machine, insect, demon, plant, beast, spirit, fairy, aquan, dragon, and human. And yeah, so that's about it for those trials. Once those are done, what I would suggest is probably, if you want to get some more lapis, go and do the series boss battle. So the series boss battle will give you some pretty good lapis by clearing them. They're pretty easy. Some of them will have multiple difficulties in other trials later down the line. Oh, they don't give a lot of lapis. Oh. No, they gave a lot of lapis on global. They don't really give a lot of lapis here. That's true. But you can still go and do them to get some ability awakening for units of those series, and they're all super easy. You just go in and you one-shot everything. The Awaken series boss battle here is the one you don't want to go do just yet, because those will be a lot harder. If you want to try, by all means try, but they could prove to be a lot more hard than the others. What else? I would say next would be here the Esper battles. So those will give you some gear. They have 3 difficulty. Oh fuck! I shouldn't have picked this one, because this one brings you to here. So you need to select the difficulty. There's 2 difficulties. And this one was kind of gimmicky, so that's a bad example. You can cheese it. There's a cheese method for which you can find a guide online on YouTube. You can find guides for this. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll put a link so you can go and follow the guide, because I really don't remember how to do it. It was something about reflecting a debuff. Yeah. So for example, here, this one, there's 3 difficulties for this one. So the base difficulty is going to give you the item itself. Second difficulty is going to give you recipes to upgrade it when you're using a certain tag. So this one was for crystals. And the third one will also give you the last recipe when you're using that same tag again. That also will give you some lapis. Some of them are still, kind of bulky. But they're always like rehash of fights that have existed before. So this one against Vlad, for example, if you do the series boss battle against Vlad, this is the exact same fight with different stats, but he will do the same gimmick. Where he was, after 50%, he was applying like immunity to everything, and you needed to hit him with ice and fire twice. Well, for 2 turns, sorry. And then he would put down the shield for 1 turn. So you need to do that again with this fight, unless you can just burst them down from 100 to 0. But yeah, those are all kind of old-ish content. So you can probably get through them kind of easily, but there's also guides online that you can follow to clear them. If you can't find a guide, or if you can't make it, ask me. I'll go research it and remember how you cleared it, and how I cleared it, so how you can clear it, and try to help out as much as I can. I might put out a guide for one of them if ever it's necessary. I know I've done one for this one, so the Dragon King and the Warrior Goddess. That's Bahamut and Ashura. I know this one I've made a video, so you can look in my videos to go and see the clear and how the fight works, because I explained the fight for this one. For these, once you have all the recipes and the item, what you can get is in the here in the missions, you can go in the last tab and you can find, you'll see I haven't done them all. Yeah, so you can find quests for those. So this is the Dragon King and the Warrior Goddess. There's special missions, so I should go and do those. So they're telling you like you should clear that on hard difficulty, so that's the second difficulty, not too bad. With a fire team, with a water team, with rebels, with guardians, and with anniversary story. And those will give you materials to enhance the equipment to the highest level. So you need to do it multiple times. You can combine some of them together now that units are a lot more flexible in terms of categories, but you can also do, just one clear at a time with whatever you have to go and get the materials. Those equipments are actually very good, so if you can clear them and get everything you need to do, everything you need to get to upgrade it, you should. Oh wow, that's a shame. I really have to go and do this. Yeah, sorry. You can see I'm laughing at my own laziness here. But yeah, so those at some point you're gonna want to go and get them. Then what else would I suggest? I think the next thing I would suggest is go do the purgatory trials or grace trials, or they were called the grace. Yeah. So those were elemental trials. These first three are extremely easy. This one is also pretty easy. It's just that there's a little bit of gimmicks if you don't kill them like fast enough. But if you're using wind, because this one is wind, it should be strong enough to go through very easily. Otherwise, bring a tank, get some ailment immunity, and you should make it pretty easily. This one here, water, is gimmicky. You should go and watch a guide on how to do it before doing it, because Leviathan is going to be a pain in the ass otherwise. What I can say for this one, make sure that you bring a Source of Silence for Siren if you can't kill her on turn 1. And also a source of ice damage for Leviathan, because if you don't have ice damage, he will have mitigation for the entire fight that you cannot remove. And Grace of Light here is, I don't want to say extremely hard, because people might say that I'm pushing it. It is very hard though. There's a lot of RNG involved in that fight. It's more recent, so that should be the last one you go and try, if you want to try it at all. All those will give you a lot of lapis for clearing them. I'll take an easier example. So they're gonna give you like 3,000 lapis for clearing in 25 turns. Nowadays, you should clear them in 3 turns or 4 turns, if at all. But they're very easy now. Once you're done with those, you could try your hand at the True Grace Trials. Those are a lot harder, and they bring, it's basically the same as the original Grace Trial, but they're adding one more fight, and all the stats have been ramped up significantly. And there's only water and thunder that have one. I would say thunder is easier than water, but if you want to go and do them, go look up a guide. Kojimaru has a lot of guides on those. I don't exactly know all the mechanics of the final bosses. I know this one will sneeze or snort, however you want to call it. So basically blow one of your units out of the fight. He does that multiple times. He can do it, I think, during his rotation after a certain number of turns, and also at a certain threshold. So there's a strategy involving doing the crossing the threshold in a specific turn. So he's only going to sneeze one unit out, and you can keep up with the fight. You can keep up the fight with the rest of your units. I think this one is just maybe instant death and charm, and what else? Yeah, he does charm. I think he does instant death, and he does play with the fields as well. So you got to be mindful of having a way to reapply your fields, or not apply your field before he applies his, so you can replace them and then burst after that. Something like this. This one's an aquatable. You can look up the races. They are on the wiki, but both of them, and the move sets as well are in there. I would say last but not least, you could go and do here the 12, the Trial of Arms, were they? The Chamber of Arms. So the 12 weapon trials, they are extremely easy now. You know, the only problem is it's long for bad rewards in my opinion. That's why I would say keep it for last. But you can go and do them, and once you've done them all, there's going to be the 13th one in the middle, and once you've cleared this one as well, you're going to get this one here to go and get like this is the reverse chamber of arms. So we've only got 2 of those. We got the tree Sharatan here, and we got this one, I forgot his name. What's his name? Tegmin. Yeah, Tegmin or Tegmin. There's only 2. They are kind of tricky, I will say, but you know, they're giving you those units for free. I've never really used them. It's more for their TMRs. She has very good killers for insects, and he has a helmet with death resist and a lot of ailment resist as well. So pretty handy, and I think he's got 100% human killer as well. But you know, those, you might see another one pop up sometime before EOS, who knows. But they're really not steady at releasing them. So there's no rush in clearing them and trying to catch up, and also the rewards aren't that great. And I would say that's it for this. There's this here, the extra, like what's it, extra rule. Oh yeah, the extra rule battle. So you have to clear these with like 3-star units and 4-star units. The rewards are completely useless. Don't go and do it. Like those coins, you get thousands and thousands of those over time, so don't go waste your time and do it. There's no lapis even from it. And in the last tab here, and this is also the last thing I would suggest doing, you can do all these story events for the anniversary. They're all compiled here. The short stories that you get after clearing season 1 and season 2. The Awakening of the Heart, I think that was called, or Training of the Heart, Training of the Soul. You can get some lackluster equipment for the protagonists here. Definitely keep that for last. And also here, the Story Digest. The Story Digest is something you might want to do earlier, but I would suggest keeping it for probably after you're done farming at least a couple of levels, because doing this will give you a lot of rank EXP, and you don't want to waste everything you're getting from playing regular events by skipping, you know, like you'd be skipping multiple levels at a time, so you would be losing on raid efficiency. But those will give you a lot of lapis and some material that will help awaken stuff. Get trust moogles, for example, some gill turtles, and some experienced cactuars. But I would say, like, keep it for last to go and get like the big lapis rewards and experience levels from it. When this is actually going to push you to 1 level or 2 level at a time, and not like 50 level per pop, because that would be a waste of experience in my opinion. But still, if you're craving for lapis and you're done with the story, go and do this, and you're gonna get a big boost, and you can go and pull on banners. So yeah, I think that would be it. Oh, sorry, let's not forget. I told you about the reruns here. Oh, sorry, I kind of forgot this tab. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, true. Okay, so once you're done with the digest, probably you want to go here and clear all these at least once. There's a tiny bit of lapis in here. Nothing really worth farming, but just clear all of these at least once. You might be in need of those pyramids at some point. You can go and farm them in here, but otherwise you're just gonna get them from events, so that's not really useful to go and farm. But there is this tab here for Brave Emblems. In here, you can go and farm some equipment as well. They are usually, not these, yeah. But some of them will be series locked, and might be a little harder. As you see, I've been a little lazy with this one, but this is just an emblem and this is just tickets, so I didn't care. But some of them will be limited to certain series. For example, this one, I can only use FFBE units, but they're usually kind of power crap now, so it shouldn't be a problem. Just some tags are really bad, like this one. Oh, but this one doesn't have one. Okay, that's fine. This one? Yeah, this one was a really bad one too. They changed it. It used to be only season 3. Now it's FFBE altogether. That's great. So those will be very easy to go and get. So you need to clear like multiple levels to get not equipment, but rewards and materials to upgrade the equipment you're getting from it. So you need these medals and those emblems. Those are also the emblems you need to upgrade the unit abilities, the NV unit abilities. But this will be used to also enhance the equipments you're getting there. Nothing in here is, you know, that great, but it's all permanent content. So you can go and do it after maybe like the 12 race trials to go and get them. Some of these things might still be useful nowadays. But yeah, and that's a lot of lapis you're gonna get from there as well. Because every time you're clearing one, well, bad example. Every time you're clearing one, you're getting 100 lapis, so that's 1,000 lapis already for clearing all of these. And yeah, so this one. And going back now to what I was saying earlier, once you've cleared all the reruns, if you want to go look at the other well, not other reruns, but at all the content that was removed and you can no longer play, it is in the little door here. If you go in the little door, everything that was limited and farming for equipment from a certain point and on, you can find in here. There's also some story events that have been rerun that are here. I didn't even know they were putting them here after. So as you can see, they require a resource. It's not lapis. Sorry, it's not lapis. It's not energy. It's those little keys. So there's a different type of key for every tab. But if you have some of them, you can go in here and you can go and farm a unit for, say, a current farming event that would help you get more tickets to summon from the boxes. So yeah, this can be helpful. Obviously, you know, I don't need it, so I have 1,000 of those keys. When you begin, you won't have that many, but go and use them as you have them if you want. Those are for the pearls. So everything in here is permanent. The only moment it's gonna leave this place is because it's gonna come into the regular rotation where you can play them with energy, so for free. Air quotes here once again. This here is for the equipment trials. Those materia aren't as hard as the overkiller materia, don't worry. You should be able to get them quite easier. And last here, those are the crown battles. Yeah, and those ones, once more, pretty much bottom of the barrel in terms of priority. And the difficulty can wildly vary from one to another depending on, you know, how recent is the unit. So for example, was it this one? This one could be like pretty hard. Yeah, it is. So this one would be very hard when compared, for example, with that one. No, bad example, very bad example. Compared to, say, wow. Compared to, say, this one. Oh, wow, this one's super easy. Yeah, okay, there you go. So, you know, just go in order to get the lapis, and eventually you're gonna hit a wall with one of them. Go to the next one, and you're just gonna get some lapis from those. And yeah, so that's about it. I think I covered everything here. That, you know, in terms of priority, in my opinion, for a newer player. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I will try to help as much as I can, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!